safely place this motherfucker right here, and then we will go ahead and make adjustments to this thing. Alright, let's see how. Well, fucking. Oh, son of a bitch. Nice. So, how you doing? I figured going live would be easier than trying to record a whole big ass file while I drive. So figured I would rant about some shit. Think of this as a test podcast while I drive, and don't worry about where I'm driving from or where I'm driving to, or why I'm up at almost 2 o'clock in the morning driving a big ass truck, because, you know, PERSEC, OPSEC, all that bullshit. I don't need someone, you know, triangulating my location to try and put 3 in my face, even though I'm, you know, never not armed. So, you know, the fewer shootouts I get into, the better, because, you know, the less chance I have of ending up on trial for self-defense. I posted something on TikTok where I took a screenshot of an Instagram comment that I made, where I laughed at something that Buddha Geek said about wanting to try and make it to where no one dies in traffic accidents. And the comment was, ha 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 ha. Oh, you were serious? All caps, ha 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 ha. And the TikTok post was basically me using the Lil Darky Ha Ha song and laughing along and basically just shit posting, because that's something I do. And a whole bunch of people either got confused or mad. If I could fucking edit this video and show you some of the screenshots and the comments I've been getting from some of these sorry motherfuckers that thought they needed to, like, try and get on a moral grandstand against me. Spoiler alert, if you ever try to get into a moral high ground fight with me, you will always lose for 2 reasons. One, usually the people that try to start those fights with me are not sufficiently human enough to ever have the qualifications or the right to get on a moral high ground against me. And number 2, I don't give a fuck. I'm saying nasty, horrible, offensive shit just to see what you'll do about it, and to make you cry and confuse you, and mostly though to entertain myself. And it got me thinking, and the real reason I started this podcast wasn't so much to talk about making bitches cry, but to talk about one of the real issues, why I would laugh so much about what somebody would be saying. For one, they're a politician, and I'm an American in the United States of America, which means that the government can't come after me for mocking and making fun of politicians. I also shit on Trudeau a few times in the last couple of days, because that dumb bitch, he exists, and he's fucking stupid. And Canadians will usually admit that you're fucking stupid too, Justin, just to FYI. The difference is that you can't reach me to try and take a disciplinary action against me for calling your bitch ass the bitch ass that you are. One of the things, though, that I was started like deep thinking, not just shit post thinking, is in order to make a country where no one ever dies in a traffic accident, you would have to outlaw personal vehicle ownership. That means that all you motherfuckers running around your goddamn BMWs and shit, and your Hondas and your Priuses and shit, California wants to ban combustion engines and they want to mandate Teslas and smart guns and implement more and more gun control until you are wearing a collar of slavery. And one of those things that came to mind for me, at least, was if you control somebody's ability to travel, you control someone's ability to live. If you, for the same reason the government would want to disarm its population and control you by means of wage dependency and inflation, is if they keep you down here at the bottom. I have to like glance at my phone to make sure I'm holding my hand in a way that you can fucking see it. If you're only allowed to have just enough money to pay bills, eat a little bit of food, and have the illusion of enjoying your life, then that's what they want. Because then that way you'll continue to work as hard as you can to be productive while trying to keep yourself afloat, but not be able to like do anything. Like if you're trying to stage a fucking rebellion, but you work 20 hours a day and only make enough money to pay to keep your living situation, you're not going to have the resources that you would need to go black market and get a whole bunch of shit to stack up against somebody and like fight successfully against an oppressor. And I know this sounds like a pro-socialist rant that I just went on. Capitalism, when not corrupted by people trying to control the population, is a good thing. Because one of the things people forget is that the United States was designed to not be dictatable, to not be monarchical, and to see, that's one of the reasons why I'm not a fucking Trump supporter, the same way I'm not a Biden supporter. Is it's not even Trump that I have the absolute problem with, although he was a fucking clown because he's a game show host. One of the issues I take with is the MAGA-tards, the blind faith follower fucking cult members of the Church of Trump. And before anybody goes and quotes me and tries to make it sound like there's an actual Church of Trump, I don't think there's an actual church or fucking religious gathering of Trump. What I'm saying is that people are basically fucking dick in the back of the throat for the guy when he doesn't really deserve that kind of shit. The same way they were with Hitler. They were, except that he managed to take power from the country and from the people. And then he took the guns. Then he demonized a group of people. Then he, had people carted off in cattle cars. And then 6 million Jews died. And wars were fucking reignited. And a lot of good people lost their lives. And then after that, then we went right into the fucking Cold War, because the Soviet Union and the United States were now the two big tough guys on the block, and they had to figure out which of the two tough guys on the block was the actual fucking tough guy. And then, for a whole bunch of years after that, it took the Soviet Union spending 10 years in Afghanistan to fuck their shit up. Meanwhile, congratulations on the United States for lasting just over 20 years in Afghanistan and still being a country, even though we did what the Soviet Union did, which was leave a huge stockpile of fucking arms and weapons in that motherfucker for the local bad guys to gather up their shit and start turning that shit on people. But disarming the population, controlling their travel, so when in Africa, when there was, if you were of color, you needed a travel permit. That's that shit that I'm talking about. So if you ever have to, that's one of the reasons why this whole vaccine passport bullshit is such a terrible fucking idea, because that is a couple steps away from, hey, do you have permission to leave California and their oppressive tax rates and gun control and other bullshit that has made you sick of that place, and you won't have a stamp to be able to leave the state, which means that you'll be kept in the state by the state of California. And when that happens, then you know that you're actually in a bad time. And, you know, whereas for like actual vaccine mandates, employers, the same way that employers have the right to decide that you should be drug-free to do what they want you to do, if an employer wants to fucking mandate you to get fucking immunizations and shit, and then sure, why the fuck not? Because like we still have to get vaccinated against polio and smallpox and hepatitis and shit. Me having been military for 12 and a half years, in order for me to go on my one fucking deployment, I had to get vaccinated against anthrax, and I was going to one of the safe places. So if I went to one of the safe places and had to be vaccinated against a bioweapon, then being vaccinated against something, which by the way, I know some of you are going to endanger your lives by celebrating this, but I caught COVID a few weeks ago. Started out the year getting the actual COVID, not that Omicron bullshit where it's basically just a sniffle, a slightly hard time breathing, and oh shit, I shouldn't be around people. No, I got the migraines, the dehydration, the fever, the fucking dizziness, the light sensitivity. I could still taste and smell, but it kicked the shit out of me. So we are done driving right now, so I'm gonna cut this short. I'm sure eventually I'll find a way to schedule like actual podcasts and shit and organize things, maybe even include other people in it. And you know, if I develop the energy or the fucking care, because I kind of lost my drive for the whiteboarding thing. But I was mostly doing the whiteboarding thing because I wanted to hurt people. And, you know, that's kind of one of my things is, you know, I'm too lazy to fucking go out and like do violent shit against people. And there's no real law against calling a dumb bitch what they are. So if I can, and sometimes fucking up your emotions can get you to realize that you're either dumb, wrong, or stupid, and get you to realize that maybe you should change course in your own life instead of being just god-awful and dumb and affecting others the way that you do. And then other times what it'll do is it'll get people to react to what I'm doing to them, and it will show who is mistaken and who is dumb enough to double down on their stupidity. In the meantime, this has been episode fucking 0 of this goddamn podcast. So hopefully you guys had a good time, and if not, well, fuck you.